Hello everybody and welcome back to 7 Days to Die with me, Sheelab, and the great and mighty Aavak.
This introduction is getting more flattering every single time.
I
know. Hello everyone. Okay, so what is the plan today, Sheila?
Well, it is Horde night tonight, so it is a case of, I was going to ask you, what kind of things do we need to do? Make lots of arrows,
Yeah, absolutely.
make sure we've got enough wood, make sure that the Horde base is...
setting up another forge, if I'm perfectly honest. And just relocating a lot of our stuff over here, because then we don't need to worry about that other place. So I'm going to need to make a bellows and get some short iron pipes. But yes, largely, I'm going to be trying to finish off the farm. And once that's done, putting around some further enhancements to the defense of the Horde base itself.
Yeah.
Nails and duct tape.
So we're just going to want a lot of cobblestone rock, really, aren't we, probably?
Yeah, more, that's going to be one of the larger parts that we're going to need for this build.
Grab some dirt then and start that going.
I'll also consider reinforcing the upper levels because we may start seeing zombies that can project a lot of firepower. The cop zombies are particularly dangerous. Yeah. So we may want to be aware of that one. What else did I need? Some mechanical parts, no nails.
Because we are kind of getting to quite a high level now, aren't we? So it's getting to be a little bit scary.
Yeah, we are starting to get into some places which may be a little bit more worrisome for the Horde Knights. Mostly just the Horde Knights. But it's possible that we'll start seeing some nasties showing up just during our regular exploration, which is more worrisome. Yeah. As soon as we've got the bellows done, which is going to take me about 30 seconds, then we can finish off the forge, which will be quite nice. I don't need any of these. Okay. Right. What we could do is start smelting down iron in the forge that we're going to build over here. Because I've got the other one building forged iron, which I will then turn into spike traps around the main base. But we can use the forge that we're going to be building here to make iron arrows. Okay. Which are going to be useful.
Right, are you happy to have the forge in the effectively what's going to be the crawl space?
Yeah, it's not an expensive building to make.
So you can move it a bit later on once we've got the main base a little bit more developed. Okay, cool.
The other forge it's going to be a while before I can pull the other forge down, simply because I've put a lot of materials into that forge. That's rather silly, really, on my part, but we should be okay. To just have one or two forges over here, maybe even a workbench.
I am going to go and chop trees because we're going to need a ton of wood for arrow shafts and things.
We are. That is very true.
Always do on Horde nights.
Pop in a couple of bits of wood. Then you can just go ahead and start smelting stuff down. There you go. 10 minutes worth there. The anvil is going to require a lot of iron, but we'll probably just move the anvil from the other base. I'm thinking for that one. Yeah. Right. Okay. So with that done, let's get down to trying to reinforce this garden area because ultimately, if I can get this properly sealed off, then I'm going to be a lot happier. But that's going to take a fair bit of work from me. Thankfully, the Horde base by the second Horde night. The Horde base that we've got right now is probably enough to carry you through the second Horde as well. Yeah. By the third one, though, it would be better to have some enhancements. I think that's reasonable on that one. You're probably going to want it to be a bit stronger in general.
Have some maybe concrete block upgrades and things like that.
Yeah. And for us, it'll probably involve a perimeter wall further out than that tower itself. Though the tower will remain the main access point. Though we might want a second tower to distribute the aggression
Yeah.
a little bit. You don't want all of the zombies stacking up in one place because it can make them a bit more difficult to deal with.
Well, we could definitely start on the perimeter wall at the moment if you wanted, or don't know if you want to do that after tonight's horde.
Right now, I think I would rather work on that after tonight's horde.
Yeah.
Honestly. I don't think I'm going to need to make this concrete down here. But I might make like a band of concrete here or there. Just to discourage things from trying to dig down and across. But honestly, I think just having a concrete at the top is going to be more than enough to dissuade any zombies from trying to access this location.
I'm going to do a little tiny bit of very localized scavenging in just some of the huts roundabout because
okay.
I don't think we've been in them all.
No, by all means, yeah. I'm fairly certain we haven't, in fact. I could have rebar at the top. Now, rebar itself is not particularly strong. It has only 50 hit points, but once you add concrete to it, then it becomes significantly stronger. But I got to make sure that we have the concrete to add to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would just be introducing problems. However, rebar, much like just regular wooden frames, as long as you've not damaged it or added any, started upgrading it, then you can just pick it up. So they can make for some very useful, you know, in a pinch items. But no, it doesn't look like we've got enough concrete to mess with that. So I'm not going to bother for now. We'll just build it up with cobblestone and eventually upgrade it beyond that. That'll have to be our focus for now. Okay, there we go. Iron is getting loaded in, though it's kind of acting in a bit of a way. Not something I'm too super happy about. Some extra tins and the likes. Let's drop this in. There we go. Probably want to drop in a decent amount of clay, actually. I'm not sure why that is flashing. Oh, there we go. Oh, I was probably looking at forged iron, and it was complaining. That makes sense. Sometimes the game doesn't do a very good job of reporting why there's something the matter and what that problem is. It can be a little bit confusing at times. Right, there we go. How's it going, Sheila?
Good. I think I've been in this basement before. But I don't think...
Well, it's been long enough for zombies to respawn.
Yeah.
In almost all of these houses, it's been long enough for zombies to start showing up again. So bear that in mind.
No, I am fighting the zombies right now. So yes, bearing that in mind.
Yep. There are still extra zombies in here. I thought there might have been, since there were only 2 in before. I just ran through you so fast before that I didn't wake up the other sleepers. Okay. Any other zombies in here want to play around?
Playing it safe with arrows. I don't seem to be doing very well with my melee today.
That'll happen sometimes. There's probably some zombies downstairs as well, honestly. Right. Loads of forged iron there. It's excellent. Iron. To get any iron out of here, actually, it's not too bad. We can easily get some of that. Brass. Actually, let's have a look at what I can make in here. I can make buckshot out of lead and clay. We're not using any kind of shotgun, so that doesn't make any sense for us to do. I'll happily take 96 glass jars. Yes,
what?
please.
Where did you get that? Wow!
Uh-oh.
That was a sneaky
Making my
place
way
to
to
hide. No, you don't need to be on your way to me. It's fine. It's just a zombie,
Okay.
like... That scared me.
Your
that's all.
response then was, yeah, I could tell. Your response was not the response of someone who expected what was just happening to them.
I was like going behind this little staircase, sneaky like, and then a zombie was like hiding right in the little sort of vent area behind the stairs round the corner.
Okay.
So I was all like, yeah, it's all safe behind here. And she was like, rah! And I was like, oh no.
No, I think actually you'll find you were like, ah.
Yeah.
That was
too.
indeed what you were like.
That too, yeah. I think these are like cement bags. Maybe I can dig them up.
Okay, let's pop down these. Oh, hello, little witch in the farm. I mean, I
She
don't
likes
mind
your
having
farm.
you here.
She thinks it's good.
There's much to like about it, to be fair.
Yes.
It's an amazing farm. But
Okay,
I can't
now
be having you messing up my work. So I'm afraid you have to be put down. Sorry, there's nothing else for it but to kill you. There we go, that's 2 down. Got a little bit more points. There's a couple zombies spawned around here. There's one more witch as well. But yeah, with the forge and the with the forge and the cook stove running, there are going to be lots more zombies around. Lots more witches showing up to say hello. That was a miss.
I need
Quite
better
bad,
sneak skills. Yikes! Stop it, you stupid zombies, honestly. Ugh.
Oh,
They keep like jumping out of cupboards and stuff at me. Honestly.
I wouldn't say they're being stupid. I'd say they're being pretty good at their job.
Yeah.
Genuinely, pretty awesome zombies. Well done. Oh my lord. My arrow skills have gone awful all of a sudden. I don't really want to play with you now, which I'm sorry. Normally, totally down for the free EXP. Ah, damn it, you did scream.
I'm not trying to sneak up on sleepers and then like there's zombies jumping out of cupboards. I don't know.
Who else just showed up? Did anyone else show up? I don't know. I don't think the witch had an opportunity to scream, but I'm fairly certain I did hear a scream come out of her, so... I don't see any zombies around, though. The numbers out there, remember?
I swear sometimes they can like reach for 5 million miles.
I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration.
But you're literally like several steps away from them and they're like, whack, and they hit you, and I'm like, but how? How are your arms so long?
To be fair, they've got a much better reach than we do.
Yeah. You don't have longer reach than my arrows, though.
That sounded so much like Meet the Heavy. He's like, yeah, yet to meet man who can outsmart a bullet.
Yes. Or arrow in this case.
Indeed. Right, okay, so back to building for me. Now, this layer is going to be reinforced with cobble. And eventually to stronger than cobble. But for now, cobble it'll be. Reinforced... reinforced concrete will be the ultimate goal of the tile here and in the corners, just because that gives the most bang for buck in terms of reinforcing the or supporting the grills that will need to be on top.
Yeah.
And I'll have enough concrete to do that only for a couple of tiles, so I'm going to have to very carefully prioritize it. Eventually I would like it all.
A little bit more of that cement stuff back, I think. Some 13
fantastic.
more concrete mix for you.
Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
Right now. These here, people. This is where the zombie jumped out of. There's cupboards, and the zombies are in the cupboards, and they jump out of the cupboard, and it's like, ah!
To be fair, what I'll usually do is I'll just plink a single arrow into the cupboard. Because they're so common.
The issue was I was coming through a door, and the cupboard was to my right, and I couldn't see that it was one of those cupboards.
Right, okay.
So until I came through the door, and then the zombie jumped out before I could even see the front of the cupboard. Because of I was coming up from the basement.
Yeah.
So that's why that took me by surprise.
Oh, it'll take me by surprise for all sorts of reasons. I'm constantly being caught off guard. And I know what to look for. So I've got no excuse. None whatsoever.
So yes, that was fun times. And lots of nice...
I mean, to be perfectly fair, it was actually quite funny to listen to, so yeah. Fun times for us. Probably not as fun times for you. Your heart rate probably got a little bit higher than usual. But...
Yep. I found a compound bow for myself.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
It's wonderful. I should look at making some crossbows, shouldn't I? Thinking about it.
I can hear a really nasty sounding zombie. Please don't be a feral. Where is it?
Pull out your gun, just ready. Just in case. It's better to be prepared for a feral and not have to use the gun. Because if it's not a feral, you can just back up. Did I not plant something there? Really? Did I lose? Oh no, zombie probably took out my aloe vera plants. Oh, so annoying. So annoying. This is why I need to get this place properly sealed off before I really plant my rare crops. And the aloe vera is definitely rare. Quite a shame.
Oh, I think it was just a lumberjack. But then if that's
Oh, that's not too bad then.
If it's a feral lumberjack, that would be terrible.
Actually, yeah, because a feral lumberjack will have a lot of...
No, he's walking. He's walking.
Okay. Ferals will always run. So if it's not running, then it's not a feral. Okay. Dun, dun. But yeah, unfortunately, I've lost... Oh, damn it. See, this is the problem, is these seeds were not fully grown, and because I planted them at a different time, it's very easy to be in autopilot whilst gathering, and I ended up pulling that up. So now they're going to take even longer to sync up with the other plants. Oh well. It's not the worst thing in the world. Growing. Yeah, all of this is still growing. Oh well. Bit of a pain, but not the worst thing.
That's quite funny. This lumberjack with like 4 arrows sticking out of his face and 1 out of his chest.
Okay. Right, let's grab 7 of these. But yes, I'm going to have to start replacing the aloe farms.
Yeah.
I've got enough that, you know, it's not like I've completely run out, but that one last planted one now represents all of my ability to grow aloe vera, which is a little bit worrisome. I do have a skill point to spend though, and I should decide how I'm going to spend it. I'm going to go for... Well, given that we're almost at Horde night, I think I'm going to pop this point into increased range weapon damage. I've still got an extra point because of my my goggles, but this will allow me to get the next level of boom headshot, which is going to give me a 10% chance to explode heads. Or rather, plus 10%. I'm not sure what the default chance is.
Yeah.
It does seem to be a lot higher than I used to remember.
Yeah, I don't remember there being like tons of explodey heads all over the place.
Yeah, but we've had much better luck with headshots than I'm used to. So maybe it has changed. Right. If I can just get this one side sorted, then I'll go ahead and start laying down the iron bars atop to keep this area nice and secure. Eventually, I would like candles down here, not torches, and eventually I would like electricity and having electric lights down here, as opposed to having to do it, light it via even torchlight or candlelight. But
and I've got no space.
I'm gonna have to get some more flagstones made, rather sharpish.
Oh, I've got like 70 on me, so I can bring them over.
Oh,
I'm a little encumbered. I'm not far from the base, so.
Okay, no, that's great. Time for me to make some more cobblestone blocks. No, I'm fine with making all of those, actually. Right, I'm gonna go and drop off the farmed goods, and then, well, actually, while I'm out here, I can go and grab the forged iron as well, and make sure that the forge back here is outputting some more, using up the materials in it.
Found a compound bow, but it doesn't have a ton of durability on it. It's got about a quarter.
What level
of
is
its
it?
Health. 1.
It's not a bad thing to have found, certainly.
No, not bad. Could have been better.
Yeah.
Need to put more points into Lucky Looter, I think, so I can loot a bit better. Which maybe I could actually do right now.
Lead.
Right, whereabouts are you for these blocks?
I'm just heading back over from the
house.
base.
I can see you. See you running around.
On my way now. I'll lay down some more defensive spike traps outside as well.
Okay.
Hello.
Here are your flagstones.
Thank you. I do have to head into the house in a moment. But,
I need to head in because I'm freezing. I need a coat so bad. One day I'm going to run across there and just like fall down and like jump on the spikes.
Yep, that is definitely a potential, unfortunately. There we go. Right now, working outside here is going to be a little bit more risky for me because of all of the deadly spike traps, but it's fine. I'm sure I'll be okay. And no, I'm not putting the spike traps in the right spot. They're not properly aligned. That is a bit of a pain. Right, I need 4 more and I've completed the entire perimeter with the iron spikes. That will help a lot in dealing with just nosy screamers.
Yeah.
Again, it's not strictly something I want to discourage because they are actually quite useful in your way. Let's see, is there anything else I want to drop off? Snowballs? No, I do want to drop these off in here. How much aloe? Oh, I've got enough aloe leaf that I can make an aloe seed. I'm not going to plant it, however.
Okay. How come?
It would be safer to leave it there.
Yeah.
What was that? Sorry, Sheila?
How come you're not going to plant it? And you said it'd be safer to leave it there. Not before.
Yeah, just until, until I can properly secure that area. There's 96 glass jars in there. We are now up to 149.
Lovely.
I don't think we're going to have any serious.
I'm not going to worry about that now. That's good. So 250 feathers. Do we have any iron arrowheads, or shall I just make a load of stone ones?
Well, that was what I was having this
forge
for.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and set up iron arrowheads in there for you.
Lovely.
Turn on. Go ahead and make... Yeah, sure. We can use up all of the
There's steel arrows sitting in the ammo chest as well,
Oh,
which we can
I need
use, which is great.
the anvil, actually. Well, eventually we're going to want more than one forge that can... Oh, I made iron. More than one forge that is able to...
I mean, this forge can be used for quite a long time because it's just sitting in the crawl space. It's not like, you know, it's going to be not in the base anymore or anything like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately... I'm going to need to go and get the anvil from the other forge. It's a bit of a pain. It's a very expensive piece of kit. It needs 1,000 iron to make.
Wow.
So it's just not it's not efficient for me to faff around with that. So I'm just going to go back and grab one from over here. I'm not sure if that is going to prevent me from making the brass. It's possible. Let's turn this off for a second. No, it is using the anvil, unfortunately, to get rid of all of the brass and lead out of this. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I can just make a few stone arrows for Horde Night. That's fine.
It's not really like we need the iron arrows, honestly.
No, we just keep going with extra stone ones.
Yeah. We should have enough to do everything we need. But if I get a chance, I will make a point of gathering the remaining iron from over there and sorting that out.
So the next question I'm going to ask is, where's all the stone?
That is in my inventory. Currently, some of it being turned into cobble brick, but not nearly enough to warrant me holding on to all of it. I'm just out by the farm if you'd like to come out and collect it.
Okay, I'll come out and grab a few, yeah, a couple of 100 stones and then make some arrows. Make sure we're well equipped for the Horde Night with ammo.
Yep. I will drop half of them. So there's 1,500.
Thank you kindly. And I can drop you some arrows in a minute.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can make 250.
There we go. Right, almost got one section of this isolated. Not quite there yet, but it's getting there.
It's really pretty looking. It's really nice.
Thank you. That means quite a lot.
So are we going to eventually make a little doorway and go, you know, into the base?
Yeah.
Connect it up. That'd be cool.
As I mentioned right early on, the whole idea is that we would access this from inside the base.
Yeah.
It's just that initially it's more...
It's more, yeah, it's more safe to like set it up outside and then break through.
Because the base isn't much of a base yet, really.
I am working on making it better.
Oh no, that wasn't meant to be any kind of it wasn't meant to be disparaging towards the work you've done. Rather, the base isn't heavily fortified yet, and so having enemies trying to get in there all the time would, if we introduced a weakness, you know, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, sort of thing, and if they could path through the farm to get in, they would start considering it.
Yes.
And so it would mean that
you're
we would
like,
have
no,
to
my
fortify
farm.
the base.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't that.
Farm.
I'm more worried about them getting in and killing us, actually. A farm is the least of our worries. Right. Time to do the arduous task of pulling all of this back down. What are we getting there? The wall's starting to look quite nice. But it is probably going to be beyond the next Horde Night before we get to a point where this farm is properly secure.
Yeah, and then making all the walls and everything like that around them to secure it.
Yeah. Maybe a case that I will finish it off with just some regular like wooden frames just to seal in this area. Just for the sake of making this appear less attractive, or just avoid the zombies accidentally falling into this cavity, because then they'll be confused and they'll try to get out in the most obvious way, which will be to smash something. Need to let my stamina recover a bit. Still got 5 minutes worth of making cobblestone, unfortunately. There we go.
Oh, actually
that took a lot.
found 2 compound bows.
Oh, marvellous.
One of them was level 2.
That's the same level as mine then.
Sounds
Grab one
sick.
of the dies and stick it in the bow.
Yeah.
And then you've got an upgraded bow. And it's so much easier to shoot with a compound bow simply because you've got the sight.
Yeah, and it has a little bit more durability on it as well, which is great. What colour should we go for? We go for pink. Just pink bow.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think will be enough. Yes. Should be all we need to create the path around here. That should be more than enough for this area. I could add some extra features with, perhaps in this corner, for example, having like a pillar there. But I like having a path to walk around, even though it's strictly not necessary.
Yeah.
I like it making sense. It's the same with RimWorld. I don't like building my farms where it's necessary for my pawns to have to walk over the farm to get around. It's such a silly thing as well because it really doesn't make that much of a difference. But I much prefer it if they can just walk freely along paving.
I'm wondering with this house that I was scavenging earlier, it seems like it's got like a an attic to it, but I can't work out the way in without using frames. But I like to try and work out the way.
Definitely got a screamer nearby.
Ooh.
Hasn't noticed me yet. Oh,
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
I will probably have her dead before you get here.
Oh, you're not gonna let her scream then?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm still building right now,
No,
so
that's fine. I was only coming back just in case you were doing that.
I was tempted to when you said you were coming back, but I think I want to focus on getting this farm
That's
finished first.
fine. That's absolutely fine.
Would like to get candles down here though, rather than those torches. Again, because they generate less heat. Now, you may notice that I'm kind of reinforcing the bottom tile, and that's really for aesthetics. The top one is functional, but if it's purely aesthetics, then if you make a paintbrush, you have a much larger selection of textures to paint things as. I believe that is still tied to magazines, though. I could be wrong, though. But it certainly used to be that you had to discover the various textures by reading a magazine on decorating. And then you'd unlock a certain genre of textures, like kitchen cabinets or metal textures and so on and so forth.
Climb trellises?
Really?
Yes.
I wasn't aware of that.
Because I was like, how do I get up to this attic? And then I went around the corner and there's this trellis and I was like, I'll see if I can climb that to get on the roof because there's always a way around every point of interest, isn't there? So I was like, that looks like the only way.
There's always a way that doesn't involve breaking anything or building anything.
Or building. And that was the way.
There we go. Alright, there we go. But yeah, as I was saying, it is generally going to be less material heavy for you to just make some paint, because you can paint any texture with paint. So you could make it look like cobblestone if that was the aesthetic you were going for. Or you could actually use extra cobblestone. So it's entirely up to you. In this case, it is really not necessary for me to build up with cobblestone.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it at this point just because I can, I guess. But it may well be more worthwhile to use other materials for that sort of thing. There you go. So that's the walls around one farm, one wing of the farm, I guess, complete. Putting them elsewhere. I am going to need to build this out a little bit more before I start placing down the cobbles. Sorry, the bars. I'm going to want lines of cobblestone going across in that direction, which means I need to build up pillars over there so that there isn't a risk that anything is going to fall down. I also need more flagstone. So, flagstone blocks. Let's build another quite a lot of those. It'll take me 4 minutes to make all that. And while that's all going on, go ahead and make even more. Just regular cobblestone bricks. Should I be making more arrows? Probably, considering the Horde Knight is just around the corner.
I've got
How are you doing,
300.
Sheila?
I've got 300 arrows. I found a few more bullets and another pistol and a couple of things in the attic up here, which is pretty good. I found something called a structural
Excellent.
brace, which increases durability on a melee weapon or tool.
Oh, okay. That sounds
So if
cool.
you want to, like, maybe add that to something like a steel shovel or something like that to try and make it last a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not really found a ton of stuff like a coat, you know.
Yeah, the one thing you want.
One thing I want. But now I do know that you can climb up and down trellises.
So, you know, it's not been a terrible day.
No. No. It's been a good day.
I'm going to build these out 3 at a time from each side, and then the middle one should be strong enough to support the top. There we go, perfect. Right. So, at this stage, we can go ahead and reinforce this. Does get a little bit close down here, but I don't mind that too much. We can even make it a little bit nicer if we use oh, there we go. And some of the louder warnings of the Horde Knight.
Yes, here comes the thunder.
We can even use archers as well to make this look even better. And I think I probably will. Let's get the other pillar built first. Okay, yeah, it's definitely letting us know that it's time for us to start
thinking about
getting on with things.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that said, we've still got 4 in-game hours before the blood.
That's why I'm not particularly
Horde
worried.
attack start. Now then, this would normally just come straight up there. Over on this side, I would say that this... Where do I want to place these bars? A bit of a difficult question, honestly, because the positioning of this frame does matter. I don't strictly need the light above areas where things aren't growing.
That's true.
The game isn't particularly complex in the way that it handles this. You don't need to put the metal frames... you don't have to like account for the way shadows will be cast or anything like that. You just need the metal frames above the plants. If they can see straight up and see daylight, then it's good enough. I could go ahead and expand this out just a little bit more, I suppose. It wouldn't be terrible. I would need a lot more metal frames to achieve my ultimate goal, but...
Can you make metal frames?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, not metal frames, metal bars. I'm using my bad. I'm using the wrong terminology. Possibly. I may do that. But I think we can have quite a lot of other types of shapes whether I've got enough blocks to make a nice shape inside, like with the proper corners and such.
Yeah.
Could just as easily have half blocks here. It does reduce their overall durability, but not by a huge amount overall. That being said, I could also have one of the different wedge tips.
I'm gonna head back now.
Okay, that's excellent. Yeah, I could get
I didn't go far.
4 of these. Okay, I'm going to cancel these out. Build these out.
A big loud thunderclap.
Yeah, the thunder is getting quite loud now. 2-meter flags on arches. Let's get 4 of these.
Base actually looking quite impressive from a distance now.
While the blood moon is almost upon us, I'm sat here puzzling about the best way to make my base look nice.
Yes.
The important stuff.
Important stuff. You're doing really well with that farm. You're getting loads done there.
Thank you.
There's so much more done with 2 people though.
Do it. Yeah, you really do. I don't actually think that looks that nice. I think it's a bit too chunky. Arches, however, should look quite nice from in here. Place them up like that. Yeah, those arches look gorgeous. I think what I'll go for is the half blocks though instead. So these ones I'll scrap back down. What's the time now? What's going on?
Just 7:45.
Okay. There, and finish that up. Okay, let's improve these, and then I think that's probably all the time I'm going to have to prepare this area. So I've got one central part of it upgraded. Beyond that, I'm not going to really get much time to do the rest. But I think it's definitely starting to get a bit of a nice feel to this little area. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the overall effect down here. If I... how much time have I got? Maybe I have enough to do a little bit more.
Yeah, like maybe I've got enough time, and then like zombies are literally like running at you.
Maybe I'm not gonna die because I'm spending all of my time. You right?
Yeah. I'm just having a look at mods now. It's just, I've got a pistol that's level 4, so I'm like,
There we go. Now I'm just going to focus on getting more arrows for myself. Right. As soon as it hits 9, whatever state the farm is in, I'm going to abandon this and head on up.
abandon ship.
It's starting to get red out here now. There we go. Okay, yeah, I think it's probably high time that I make my move.
Yeah.
It's starting to look so nice, though. So nice.
It will continue to look nice. It's fine.
It will. It will continue to look nice. That's very true. I need to drop off all my gear and properly equip myself for the Blood Moon.
Yeah, I might grab myself a hunting rifle and some... Oh, we've got barely any 7.62 ammo. Oh, unless it's been put in the wrong chest.
It'll be in the ammo box.
Yeah. Those have been put in the wrong chest. That's all.
Right. I'm going to replace the bars here with iron bars.
Oh, nice.
Because if we do have anything that spits, such as the zombie cops,
they'll have a bit more durability.
The iron bars will
have,
significantly more staying power. There we go. I think the last ones were central bars, but it's fine. I'm not going to go to the effort of making those specifically for that. Right, time to drop off all of my stuff then. Forged iron can stay with me. The frames can all go in. Alright, Sheilab, remember that we are going to be damaging the ladder to just add an extra layer of difficulty for the enemy to navigate. Have you got all of the ammo that you wanted?
Yeah, I've got... You can take the steel arrows, and there's 125 stone arrows in the ammo chest for you. And then I've got a couple of 100 stone arrows and 70 odd iron arrows.
Thank you very much. Have you got forged iron?
I've got one piece on me, I think.
Grab some more out of there, just in case you need it, and also grab a repair kit out of the tool chest. Sorry, out of the weapons chest. That way, you'll have... Oh, there is 75 millimeter... sorry, 75 millimeter. 7.62 millimeter. Oh my god, the size of that ammo. Have you got a weapon that uses that?
Doesn't an AK-47 use that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to have the AK?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's the ammo. It's on the ground for you now.
Okay.
Because I'd already picked that up.
Okay, so...
My 105 rounds for pistol ammo should be enough for me.
You said there was another weapon that I needed to take out of the weapons chest. I didn't quite hear what you said.
The repair kit. So you can repair your gun if you need to.
Thank you.
Because it's the only way that we have right now to repair guns.
Yeah.
So that should be all we need. Have you got medicine, bandages, that sort of stuff?
I've got 2 bandages. I got 3 painkillers.
Okay.
Some water, some food.
Food and water, yeah. Cool. I think...
Doubt I'll need
honestly,
it,
if I eat some meat stew, I'm going to be good for
I'm just going to start off with my... Yeah, I'll eat some meat stew before we start. And I might want some more water.
Can you get off the hatch so I can get up there?
Sorry, there you go.
That's okay. Well, right, I'm going to... Oh, damn it, I'm an idiot. I popped my axe down here. Where is it? I'm just going to use the axe to break down that wooden ladder.
Yeah.
Again, it will cause the zombies to consider this an invalid path to take to try and get to us. So that will prevent them from getting any funny ideas about
going into the base. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we did pretty good job there.
Yeah, I think so.
10 minutes to go.
The base is a lot better illuminated now. Eventually the farm is going to be much better protected. And zombies will be able to walk just straight across the grating and the reinforced cobble without any potential of falling in. And they're not going to think to destroy it because it's going to be flat. Even if there's a ramp, it'll sometimes cause them to try to break the ramp.
Here
Can you see them?
Come. Yeah.
Okay, they're coming from the left. Close that door. That should encourage them to try and get up here. There we go. All of them should now try. They are hurting themselves on the
feral ones now.
Yep. Could you crouch?
Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, I am.
Oh, you were. Not bad. I'm just going to try and make sure I'm not shooting too much over your shoulder. There is one of the zombie cops. That bile there, that can't pass through the iron bars. It will damage them as a result. But whereas we can shoot through it, the zombie cops can't. The iron bars should
really good.
block the hit. If you shoot a zombie cop in the head, if you cause it to be stunned, it'll fail any kind of attempt to
Trying to get headshots,
It's a
but
spit.
I'm not doing very well today.
Unfortunately, we have not got the best of protection here because whilst we've got the bars are okay, the wood walls around them, not so much. Again, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
Yeah.
Bit worrisome because now with a bit of an open attack possibility.
Zombie caught.
Stunned him just in time.
Nice.
I'm just lining up a spit, and right now I had hoped to get the cobblestone walls around the front, at least the front gun. Didn't quite have enough time, it seems.
Like this bow doesn't like zoom in half the time, you know?
Now, one thing about the zombie cops is when they get damaged enough, they'll become enraged. And an enraged zombie cop will charge straight forward and try to explode. Basically, it's a boomer. It's a boomer that can spit. If you've played Left 4 Dead, then it is basically a combination of the boomer and the spit. So, again, if you stun it, you can prevent the explosion, or you can interrupt its attempt. But generally speaking, killing it before it gets with headshots rather than a couple of body blows, which is much more likely to leave them at below the health threshold where they become enraged, rather than just outright killing them. So going for headshots is really important.
Going for headshots and achieving.
We've got a zombie inside. Taken out. She managed to get across. It isn't foolproof, but
Clever zombie.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, they are starting to get over that little path a little bit more. Occasionally it will happen, but it's very uncommon. Quite often it seems to be more likely to occur because you shot them at just the wrong time and it caused them to edge back onto the wall. That horrible scream is a spider. Now, spiders are going to be a risk for us for a little while until we build up our defenses. A spider can jump across a fairly wide gap. Thankfully, it's still confused by our little lift there. But if that was just a gap, it can jump across, I think, about 4 tiles, which is further than we can jump. But in addition to that, it can climb. So, hopefully, it doesn't think to try and climb up and into the front of this base. But it might try and climb up and around.
I'm going to use a gun for a minute because I'm...
Sure. We've got a lot of them, so thinning them out would be wise. Don't know if I've had any extra level ups here. Getting close to my level up, so I can only assume that I have. Any skill points? Yes, I've had 1 level. It's not working. There's still more spawning and running in, I can see them in the distance. That is a lot of them clustering on that little walk around. There's a very good chance that the way they get in is by all trying to get in at once. Kind of like World War Z in a way, but, you know, they all climb on each other and get past the wall. There we go. There we go. How are you doing there, Sheila?
Yeah. I'm just not getting on very well with this compound bow. It takes so long. Yeah, it zooms and then you've got to draw it back and it takes ages. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong with it.
I generally find it much more useful than the regular bow, but I can make crossbows now, so I can.
Oh, a crossbow would be good, yeah.
A lot sooner. Much slower reload, but much more accurate. Again, you sight it like a rifle rather than a bow. Okay. Come on, you. That vulture is going to be a pain in the bum for a while, I think.
Yeah. What vulture isn't a pain in the bum all the time?
That is a very good point.
Managed to get the spider in the butt.
They have munched through so much of this wall.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I fear they may have damaged it so much now that they're going to have to climb up. Okay, they can still climb up from below, but this is a danger place for this trap design because zombies no longer have a really convenient path to take.
So they might start thinking, ooh, this other place is a really great place to go instead.
Exactly. And that's largely because whilst trying to get up, they've just slowly worn down that wall over time. So making that out of a more durable construction material like concrete is going to be something we're going to have to look at next, I imagine. That's a terrible shot. Did you kill it? You did, right in front of your eyes. I think you must... Oh, right. Zombie cop. Not a good time. If that gets in here, we are in a lot of danger. Taking out the zombie cop with a gun.
Where is he?
Can't see him. He might be down below trying to get up. Afraid I can't see him right now, which is scary. Oh, they're going through the traps down below. It's probable that they are getting frustrated with their inability to get up onto the stairs anymore. So it's good that you're thinning them out with your gun right now.
Yeah.
And that is definitely something that we should probably keep in mind moving forward, is that we want to keep the numbers low so that they don't overwhelm the trap and cause large amounts of damage to it, as they have here.
Yeah, once we can start making bullets and things, that's going to be a little bit nicer as well.
One thing to be aware of with hordes is zombies have a... Oh, that was a spider making a loop for you. Zombies have a kind of strength multiplier when they are in a group. So the amount of damage that one zombie can do... Oh, that one is going to blow. The amount of damage a single zombie can do to a block is significantly lower than the amount of damage that two zombies will do to a block individually. So if there are two zombies in close proximity, each zombie will do more damage on their own to any block they attack. So you don't necessarily want them clustering up like this. It does make for a much harder time to defend. How are you doing with ammo?
I don't actually know how much ammo I have left. Check.
That's okay.
81 pistol rounds still.
That should be plenty.
I'm trying to make them count, but I don't always hit.
I'm afraid that there are so many of them here. They are definitely getting to the sort of levels where they may break through the trap. And if they damage the trap sufficiently, then the only recourse they're going to have is to try and break through.
I think.
Did they break through downstairs? They didn't, but they have destroyed some of the
spikes.
tiles completely. I think we're through it, yeah. Wow.
They did a lot of damage to that wall.
Yeah, they did. They really ruined it, actually. Go check on the farm. Farm is safe.
Yay!
All is well.
Yes, we've got a week to repair a little wall and some spikes. It's fine.
Oh yeah. It'll won't take us long to do that at all. But overall, yeah, we made it.
We did good.
Wow, that was rough.
Yeah.
We got 2 beer for our trouble. Yeah, they managed to do quite a lot of damage there. My lord. Is that stone? Okay.
You've got a load of flagstone blocks to repair it with, haven't you? So.
Oh yeah. We're not gonna have any trouble repairing it.
Cool.
Still, I'm gonna go ahead and harvest that vulture. Gonna drop down here and replace the ladders.
So Sheila doesn't get stuck.
3 of them. Yeah. Well, so I don't get stuck as well. It's not just
It's
you.
like jump down there. Oh no!
3.
That farm area is looking so amazing. Now you started to build like the bit up the top. It's looking really cool.
But yeah, we should be okay. I've got my claw hammer. Grab flagstone blocks and the iron bars and the copperstone. Whew. Well, I would say that was a success.
Success, but starting to see the limits of the trap a little bit. So a second tower to split them up, or something to reinforce.
Yeah, having multiple towers means that a different horde will approach me and Sheila independently, which forces them to split their damage potential, which in turn obviously
less block
allows us
damage and
significantly greater protection. That iron bar there with 2,500 natural durability, yeah, it's going to take a lot of damage to get through that. Whereas these wooden blocks, yeah, there's not much between us and Doom. I was really worried that a zombie cop was going to explode down on the bars.
Yeah.
And that was going to travel up and kill me near that wooden block, unfortunately. But it didn't turn out that way. So it's all good. All good. Oh, there we go. Time to start the repairs. Here.
Do you have just a few flagstones for me to just do a bit more in the basement? I'm coming up.
Yeah, I do.
I'm coming up.
I'll come into that room and drop them for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. On the floor for you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I will go ahead and reinforce these, even though strictly speaking I don't think it's necessary. But
well, it never hurts.
I don't want to. Yeah, exactly. One of the big reasons why I was avoiding it initially was I didn't want to have a situation where we ended up building something that I couldn't take back down.
Yeah.
Which is honestly a
valid concern.
We have lost all of the cloth somewhere.
I put it in the clothing chest.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, that seems sensible, but if you don't think that's sensible, you can put it in the building.
Sure, we can leave it there. It doesn't really matter to me one way or the other. What I want to do is make a bunch more torches again. Because unfortunately, we have run down. And it's going to be a lot easier for me to see what I need to repair if I've actually got a torch.
Yeah.
And the flashlight, not quite as useful. Are all of the other torches intact? Yes, they are. Perfect. The base does look a little bit creepy by night, but...
It looks creepy by night. We've made ourselves a haunted house.
Yeah. Oops.
Hooray.
There you go. Now, the notification that I don't have the necessary materials to finish the upgrade is letting me know that if I had concrete, I would be upgrading these tiles into concrete blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Wet
But you do not
blocks
have any.
initially.
Yeah.
It would take 10 concrete to upgrade them to wet concrete blocks, and then I believe another 10 more to upgrade them to reinforced concrete blocks once that wet concrete had dried. In both instances, whilst wet, the concrete is significantly less durable than it would be normally. So if you haven't got much time, it takes about a day for the concrete to dry in the game. If you don't have enough time and you're like rushing to try and get ready for a blood moon, don't upgrade to concrete. That would be my advice. Because you will introduce vulnerabilities in your base rather than strengthening it. Because wet concrete is a lot easier to get through than, for example, I think regular cobblestone. Reinforced cobblestone. So although eventually it will be many, many times more durable, initially, not so much.
Only do it when you have the time.
Yeah. But that is going to be that.
But
We've
yeah,
managed to make it through
already.
another horde. Yeah, another horde night.
Well done. Good design
Another
on the
blood
base. Very good design.
I mean, it's not really any different from the last time, but thank you.
It's still
Again, I
it's a
appreciate
solid
it.
design, you know.
But yeah, I've finished the repairs. It is now reinforced again. There we are. So that shouldn't be a problem. I'm even going to mine this bit of collapsed cobblestone from outside.
Yeah, so just down here, I need
There
to
we go.
mine this level out, go down one more level, and then I need to dig out a floor, and then we're done.
Interestingly, very little of the base's walls were damaged. More
That's
than
good.
likely, the only places where it did get damaged was where a zombie cop exploded.
Yeah.
And that was probably only a case where they wandered near the spikes while they
You
were
having
trying
the smarts to
navigate.
take the ladder away probably helps, though.
Yeah.
Because they're not
I
trying
mean,
to go for the base, and us not being in the base for them to try and
That's
pass.
the most cheesy part of anything that I'm doing here. The only reason that I feel justified in doing it, because generally speaking, that's the sort of thing I wouldn't feel justified in doing. I'd be like, well, no, that doesn't make any sense. But I feel okay with doing that only because it makes no sense that the zombies would know that there was a ladder inside anyway.
Yeah.
But it is definitely what their AI pathfinding is using to determine whether they try to
They
burrow
can
through the
magically
wall or not.
see through walls, basically.
Yeah. But on that note, I'm afraid we're going to have to wrap things up there.
time to
I really
go.
do hope you've enjoyed and will be joining us for the next. But until then, as always, whilst I've got a frog in my throat, sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. Take care, everyone.
And keep being awesome.